Life can change in an instant. For many wheelchair users, the struggle to push forward is a daily challenge.
After years of development and countless prototypes, we created Rib Grips, the revolutionary wheelchair hand rim covers with built-in ribs for ultimate grip and comfort.
No more slick surfaces, no more heat burns, just pure, reliable grip. Rib Grips, empowering you to push forward with ease. Rib Grips, get a grip on your freedom. Discover the difference. Visit ribgrips.com and use promo code GRIP today. You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Caroline, you should tell them about the newest thing that Bloody Happy Hour is doing.
A Patreon.
It's a Patreon. What is that?
That means you're basically like a VIP member, and there's 2 different levels that you can, subscribe to, and you get some perks. You maybe get like merch a little earlier. You get
exclusive merch.
You could get first dibs on signing up for a live show. You get episodes with no commercials.
You get our video because our video is no longer available on YouTube. It is only on Patreon. And the most important to me is you get videos of our live shows. So if you are far away and you couldn't make our last live show, it will be on the website. We're going to record this future live show. It's going to be on Patreon, but also bonus episodes each month. You guys tell us all the time you want more episodes. This is a way for you to get more episodes. So you're going to get our basic Tuesday, Thursdays that we always put out, right? But if you're on a Patreon, you're VIP, you're going to get more.
I can't wait to talk about in detail some more stories because I always have a lot of details I want to go to. I can law-splain. I might read a book.
They just unsubscribed. This is also going to be the exclusive place that Dirty Chat is going to go to. So if that is breaking some of your hearts, just go ahead and subscribe now. In order to hear the full content, it's going to be Patreon. Where do they go again?
Patreon.com/Bloody Happy Hour.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are back.
Turn Up
we are
Tuesday.
Living our best life.
National Tequila Day.
National
for us
Tequila Day. We're having a high noon with tequila seltzer, 4.5%.
Oh, that kind of takes it down a little bit.
But
I didn't even look at that, but they are good. I went in to get the vodka seltzer because I love the high noons.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the vodka seltzer ones. And then he was like, I think vodka's out and tequila's in. And I was like, I've been drinking
tequila is
straight.
in. One of my friends
give
like
me the tequila
that's
ones.
all she drinks is tequila.
That's all. I'm just gonna convert. But in the wintertime, I'll still drink my whiskey.
Yeah.
So we have a quickie for you guys.
Oh, yeah. What is this episode? What do? We just go through the news, the quickie things in the news. We just give updates, maybe what's new, what's happening, what's going on.
Yeah, in the trials. And then on Thursdays are our full episodes. And Caroline is telling the story for this next week.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to apologize, though. Our last quickie we talked about a major historical event, right? We talked about Trump getting shot, but we left out the actual victims, other victims. But what happened, sorry, is we talked about them off camera, off camera, and so much that we've got to talk about it when we were, So I'm going to talk about them today.
Okay.
So Corey Comparatori. Man, I practiced it 40 times. Comparatori.
That's it. Comparatori.
He was 50 years old. He is the former fire chief in Pennsylvania. He is the one that lost his life. But there are also 2 other victims. And we're talking about the shooting, the attempted assassination on Trump. 2 other victims was 57-year-old David Dutch and 74-year-old James Koppenhaver. They are both, though, in stable condition. They were shot, but they are stable and they lived. But Corey did not. Now, all 3 of these were obviously avid Trump supporters. Corey was described as a girl dad who went to church every Sunday. He loved his family and community and dogs. He had some Doberman pinchers that he thought were his kids. Now, not only was he just a hero by the sake of like his job, right?
Yeah.
He was an actual hero this day because he died because he was protecting his daughter and his family from the bullets that he heard being fired. His daughter, there's a lot of shared posts about like what his daughter wrote about him, but his daughter was like, he literally took a bullet to protect me. He threw them down on the ground and shielded them, and that's how he got shot. And so he is literally a real life hero. And I just wanted to make sure that we talked about that because it is horrible. It's all horrible, but it's just horrible because his wife was like, this was a very happy day for us. And the daughter was like, and then our life will literally never be the same. Next story is Chris Watts is back and he's trying to be relevant again.
He's trying to blame it on what's her name, right?
Jezebel Nikki, and he actually called her Jezebel Nikki, which
saying that she is the one who convinced him to do it.
Well, he didn't even really said that. He was just saying, he was describing like what a Jezebel does is they suck you in with lust and make you feel like you got all that power, and then you're sucked into their whatever, into the immortal sin, whether it's lust, and they get you to do all these things, right? So he was saying that basically I had a great wife and a life and kids, and then I would always follow the sweet smell of perfume for other women. And Jezebel Nikki, he fell into her hooks basically and just said it was just all evil and down from there. He said that she tempted him and gave him an ultimatum the night before he killed them, is what he says. He says that she's told him to pick her or her family, and that's what
his family.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
sir, you get a divorce.
Yes.
You don't kill your family and put them in a freaking
oil
she
well. Put a curse on him, a Jezebel curse, Caroline.
Okay.
So he writes letters to Jesus often, and
where does he send it?
Well, I have one of them.
Oh, he your Jesus? He sent it to you? He sent your letter? You've been writing him. Oh, hell, you've been writing him the whole time.
Be writing him. No, the New York Post had a copy of one.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
what happened is he befriended his cellmate, and his cellmate was in there for, like, multiple DWIs and then, like, a probation violation, so it wasn't a murderer. But they would talk all the time. And they agreed to write a book together. What do these people think? What, like?
Well, you got to be bored as hell, so you might as well write a book.
Work out. I mean, this work out, takes classes, join a gang. He could join the Aryan Brotherhood. Like, there's much more to do in prison.
Do some face tats. I mean, you know, like
Yes, do
tat
face
your neck.
tats.
Get a sleeve.
Don't write a book, but I would. I don't know if I would.
You know she gonna read it, and she gonna have a book club episode about it.
But he would. He backed out of it, so the cellmate just wrote a book on his
Well,
own.
if you would cover the story, we would know who Chris Watts is.
I know. Soupy sent it to me, and he was like, "Here's a story for you. It's such a big story. I need to do it."
But I
It's a great story.
If you just watch that Netflix,
It's everything.
Yes.
Yeah, it's everything. Okay, so I'm just gonna read
You know what? What if we do that for the live show
Chris Watts
together?
Oh, do they know that we're having a live show?
Well, we just told them.
Mm,
We could totally do that together.
that means we would have to really practice together. Okay. We haven't even gotten together to do Dirty Chad.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so here's a couple of lines. Dear Heavenly Father. It's like he's putting his prayers on paper. For
This is his
attention.
book.
Well,
Oh.
he backed out of the book. Only the cellmate
Oh.
wrote the book, so he probably sold none. I have backslidden. I am like a sheep gone astray from the flock, and I have fallen in a pit. The snare of the enemy has entrapped me. The words of a harlot has brought me low. Her flattering speech was like drops of honey that pierced my heart and soul.
What'd she say?
I don't know. He was just saying that she had him mesmerized and hypnotized. I feel like this is a love poem to her.
Yeah.
Little did I know. All of her something were in the chamber of death. The lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. How did I not see it? How did I let this happen? The blessings you have bestowed upon me were right in front of me, and I still followed the perfume of a strange woman.
Oh.
And it goes on and on and on
A
like
strange
this.
woman. She was not strange when you were,
Mm.
you know. Mm-hmm.
So there's Chris Watts trying to be relevant. I think his house is still for sale. Like,
Somebody bought it, then they already moved out.
yeah, it can't.
You can't live there.
It's like
it needs
Madame
to be bulldozed.
LaLaure's house. That house is for sale again. It's like people can't stay
No,
there. It's probably cursed.
You can't.
Also in the news, the Karen Reed trial scheduled for January 25th,
Mhm.
2025. I did not see that coming. So the FBI must be coming with some stuff.
They better because listen,
We both
this
should
is
have
gonna.
went to the nail place.
I have not even had a chance, and I'm just gonna make them grow until they're like halfway out, or I'm gonna start peeling them off. There's my thing is like with that trial, it's gonna be. You have the lead investigator who's then lost his job. You have one of the brothers of the people who has lost his job. You have now there's 3 more police officers who are under investigation. And you have the FBI, which the FBI was not able to, the FBI that they were investigating the case, that was not able to be brought into the trial.
But
the first
can
one.
it this time?
It's,
I bet.
yes.
Because the only reason to retry another case is if you have other evidence or you're going to end up in the same
I know. I'm like, why are you
situation.
retrying it?
Yeah. They must
Why
have
are
some new
the-
evidence.
The prosecutors, no, they just are like determined to get her. It's like, there's so much, it's just the Free Karen Reed tribe and then the family, I don't know. They are just convinced that she did it and they will not be told otherwise and they have to prove it.
Wow. His family thinks she did it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Colorado. Authorities in Colorado are searching for a missing 5-year-old whose mother was a victim of a homicide on July 2nd. So his name is Heliano Martinez. He's 5 years old. He was reported missing on July 18th, and they issued a missing and endangered alert for him. Now, The mother was found dead, but the dad has been missing, and so has the little boy. So there's a growing concern for his well-being, and the law enforcement is seeking, help from the public. He was last seen on July 16th with his father. His father is Charles Martinez. He's 43. He was seen in a 2011 gold Dodge Ram on Highway 160 in Cortez. They think that he was heading towards the father's home. But now investigators have found that truck, but have not been able to find the son or the dad. So last seen with the dad in the truck. The truck was found, and it was empty, and nobody has heard from the dad or the son. This is 3 weeks after the little boy's mother, Crystal Snow, she was 39, was found shot to death in her Pagosa Springs home. So
What?
Yeah. Her body was discovered on July 2nd after police received a 911 call from her home at 2:20 a.m. So they think she called 911 in distress and was killed, gunshot wound. Multiple gunshot wounds. Police were searching for her young son. He was not at the house. But hours later, they found the son with an aunt. So they were like, oh, great. Well, the aunt let him go with dad for some reason, and he has not been seen since then.
What?
It is a description of Heliano. He's only 3 feet tall. He wears 75 pounds. He's Hispanic. He has brown hair, hazel eyes. Then they describe Charles, the daddy, 5'11", 215 pounds, Hispanic, brown eyes. And the call to action is you call the Montezuma County Sheriff's Office in Colorado. 970-565-8452. It's a developing story. What's crazy is, do they not think the dad killed the mom? Do they think, because it's not a manhunt, it is family has not seen this baby, and his mom was just killed, and now the dad's, and it's missing. It's like so many questions surrounding this story, but it seems so obvious.
Yeah.
But they're not stating it. They're not stating it's a domestic abuse, and they're not saying that he is wanted for murder. They're just saying he is missing. And sometimes they do that to make them, when you say he's a suspect, then they're more likely going to continue to run, right? But if you say, oh, he's just missing, we're concerned, maybe he'll show his face, unless he's guilty or unless they're already dead.
Already dead.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
And then I just heard this story yesterday, but it happened on July 6th. It's the Sonia Massey
I was
story.
about to ask about that.
Yeah. I just saw videos about it yesterday. Okay, we're going to Illinois, and if you know the story, you can kind of help me with it. I watched videos yesterday, and I read a couple articles. So, let me see.
She called in for
911 for a possible prowler.
Yes.
At her home in
she's a
Springfield.
schizophrenic.
And so what I was trying to find is, who is Sonia Massey? What did she do? Did she have mental issues? Did she have drug issues? So she called in because there's a possible prowler in her home. Then there's body cam footage that kind of shows, and that there was Detective Grayson and another deputy that were speaking very calmly with Massey at her home. And I watched the videos, and she was kind of all over the place. They were asking questions. She was distracted on her phone. She would forget what they would ask. You can tell they were like, okay, we need to get out of here. We've checked it. You're safe. There's nobody here. They asked her, whose car is in the driveway? Is this black car yours? And she says, no, they brought that. And they're like, well, why is the window broken? She goes, they did that. They did that. She heard somebody around her house.
Yeah.
She didn't seem very scared, and they were trying to reassure her that there was nobody there. So they ended up in the house, and they're in the living room, and they're asking, like, give me an ID. You're fine. And she never brings out her ID. She gets distracted and does other things.
I don't know why they need to get her ID.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know why they needed to linger on.
Yeah, I don't either.
So then the video cuts in there in the kitchen. She's in the kitchen. And you can tell because they were asking her, are you okay mentally? Are you okay mentally? And she says, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. She's boiling water, and I don't know what time of night this is, but she's boiling a big old, like, tamale pot of water on the stove. And he is already, like, she's in the kitchen. He's in the living room. There's this peninsula that's, like, dividing both of them. And she starts backing up, and she's like, what's wrong or something? He goes, well, I'm getting away from your hot scalding water. And she says, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Okay? What does that term mean to you?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. So,
like,
I probably say it every other day.
I forgive you, or I can curse you.
No. So like in the Bible, if you were genuinely scared, or if you think something, you can using the name Jesus can ward off some evil, right? Or some danger. And so a lot of Christians believe that when you rebuke something, or if you say, I rebuke any demonic activity, I rebuke any devil activity, but in Jesus' name,
I disapprove of your activities.
Yeah, like I rebuke you, like I block you, I rebuke you, or I rebuke any evil intention. So you say that kind of like when you're scared, or when you're not sure like what's going to happen. He says, but she pulls the pot off of the stove, and she's kind of like holding this big old pot like this. Peninsula in front of them, and he's back from the peninsula, and he says, you better fucking not, or I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you in the fucking face. He said fuck the whole time on this video. And then he draws his firearm and points it at her. And that's when she ducks. She says, okay, I'm sorry. And then she's ducking down behind her pot, behind the peninsula. She's on the floor. And then you hear 3 gunshots, and he shoots her in the head 3 times. And he says, drop the fucking pot, shoots her. 3 shots are heard. Now, I read that he didn't have his camera on the whole time, but the other guy in the house had his camera on, and that's why we have all this camera footage. There's silence. Another deputy come in, and they're like calling emergency services, and he goes, well, dude, also, I'm not taking fucking boiling water to the fucking head. And look, it's right at our feet.
Foot. Yeah.
But she's dead. She dropped the fucking pot. Yes, the water is spewing. It was like on the floor.
At no point did I see her attempt to throw that pot of boiling water at him.
And then she was.
And then the other officer.
I don't even see how she seemed threatening.
She was like literally like moving the pot from like the sink to the, or whatever. She was just putting it from the stove to the sink, or sink to the stove, or something.
Yeah.
And she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And then he's like, at any point, I would not have felt threatened. And if you're like way back in the, what is she going to do? Throw water on you and you move away?
Step back more, shoot her? Or leave, because everything's fine. There's nothing.
And then,
keeping you there.
And then his partner was like, oh, I'll go get the kit. Like the safety kit or whatever. And he's like, well, there's no point, because I already shot her in the head. Yeah. Headshot. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why are you saying fuck? Like, why are you saying that? Are you saying that because, you messed up, or like, but why? Like, so.
And then he was calling her fucking crazy bitch afterwards. And
there was like the whole freaking police office, like the whole, like, office of police, what do you call it? I don't know. The
department.
There was like 20 officers outside of the house. Like, why were there so many out there?
So they were like, don't bother getting the medical kit. I mean, you can go get it, but
yeah, but they're
she's
like,
gone.
well, she's still breathing, but she's dead.
And that was my thing is like, she's still breathing. So attempt something.
I feel like you have a duty.
Yes, attempt
to at least
something.
But like, why? That's another thing I don't get. I don't get why. I get that if that can be considered I don't know, a deadly weapon. I don't think you can die from boiling anything.
Yeah.
You're going to get burned, but okay. Why are you shooting them in the face?
Yeah. Well,
and where's your tase? Like, tase them.
And that's what the, I guess the family's lawyers are saying now is like, you could have left, you could have backed up. If you wanted to have any force, it could have been tasing. But so anyways, he's been fired.
And arrested.
Illinois State Police says they do not support that he was justified using deadly force at all. And the expert reviewed everything and basically said the officer intentionally and unnecessarily put himself in a situation and used force. So it's like he put himself in front of a moving vehicle and then justified using force because of fear of being struck. So it's like you walked in front of a car and shot the driver, but you walked in front of the car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like there was no reason behind doing it. It's clear that the deputy did not act as a trained person in accordance with their standards. So it says that he was arrested, but I forgot to put on here how. Sean Grayson has been fired and he's been indicted on 3 counts of first-degree murder. So I guess that's because you shot her 3 times. With each count of aggravated battery with firearm and official misconduct in connection with the July 6th shooting. He entered a not guilty plea.
I mean, of course, I guess they will always do that just because people are...
Give me a deal.
He might get one,
Give me a deal if I say I did it. He has worked for 6 police departments in the past 4 years and has had 2 DWIs.
Oh,
paid them off. So now the family is like, why did this department hire him? He was always
It's just
part-time.
like teachers. It's just like teachers.
And that's what I was going to say.
Teachers can never they can do anything and they can just hop and skip around.
That's what any state job like that.
Yeah.
Which is sad because our government job like that, because those are the most important jobs. Our police, our nurses, our teachers, they don't get paid enough.
Yep.
And there's not enough training. I'm not giving this there's not an excuse for this. What happens is people become cops and they think that or teachers or whatever, think that they're professionals and don't have to continue to get training. Oh, I've been a cop for however many years. I've been a teacher. I don't got to keep getting training, but you got to keep getting training. He just had a big head, I think. Like he didn't know what to do.
He is a dick. He's probably a baseball player.
So they're pissed at the Illinois Springfield Police Department because they were like, why did you hire him? He's got 2 DWIs and he's been in 6 places and he was never full time. He was always part time. Like they would if he was, they would always cut back his hours. So that ought to be a red flag. But you said it right because it's exactly what I said. We have teachers in every school district that have been to multiple school districts and got their contract not renewed. But guess what? We need teachers in the state of Texas or anywhere else. And districts are desperate to have bodies in the classroom. And it's sad, but sometimes that's just how it is. Sonia had a 15-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son. And
wow.
the family's sad and they're pissed. And I couldn't find anything about her mental health, if she had a job. Like, I didn't see them trying to, a lot of times this is when they want to dehumanize her, right? But I didn't see them try to humanize her either. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she was a mom that went to church or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I have. You have anything to add to it?
No, I don't think so.
Done, done, and done.
Done and done. Quickie. That's how we do it.
Where are we going for our Thursday's episode?
We're going to Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
Mhm. Yes, we're going to a little village in Ohio. And we're going to talk about gnomes and trolls.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Okay. This is officially a fairy podcast. We'll see y'all then. Don't forget to
Stay aware.
stay alive.
And always be
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.